Today, we're diving into something called Yoga Nidra. And look, this isn't just about taking a really good nap. We're talking about a profound journey of consciousness. It's a very deliberate path from all the noise of our outer world deep into this incredible inner silence. And then, coming back to life, totally transformed. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been in that kind of weird, floaty space where you know you're not quite asleep, but you're not really awake either? It's that magical little window where dreams and reality just seem to blur together. It's a place we all visit, but we almost never explore it on purpose.
Well, that bridge, that in-between state, is exactly where Yoga Nidra happens. It's a state of conscious awareness where you intentionally let your body go into a super deep rest. Completely asleep. But your mind, your consciousness, stays awake and alert. So see, it's not about falling asleep, it's about waking up on a whole other level.
Okay, so if we're going to navigate this inner world, we're going to need a map, right? And luckily for us, ancient wisdom provides this really elegant one. It's called the Pancha Kosha. This basically translates to the 5 sheaths or layers of our being. This is going to be our guide for the whole journey inward.
And here it is. This is the map. You can see the 5 layers, the koshas, kind of like those Russian nesting dolls of our existence. We're going to start our journey on the very outside with the physical body and travel layer by layer all the way to the very core, a space of pure potential that's known as Mahakaal, the great void. So let's break down each one of these layers.
So the journey always begins with the Annamaya kosha. That's our physical body. This is the world we know best, the world of the 5 senses, everything we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. It's the most solid, tangible part of us. And the very first step in Yoga Nidra is to just give this body permission to completely and utterly fall asleep.
Now, once the physical body is resting, we start to become aware of the Pranamaya kosha, the energy body. And this is where a really cool shift happens. The ideas of past and future just dissolve, they're gone. All that exists is the present moment. And you might feel these amazing sensations of floating, or flying, or your body just expanding and contracting.
Go a little deeper and you'll find the Manomaya kosha. This is the mind, or the dream body. This is where all of our subconscious stuff, our impressions, desires, memories, all come to life as dreams. And this layer is where we can actually practice what's called lucid dreaming. Basically, becoming a conscious witness to your own dreams, watching them play out without getting lost in the story.
And as we move past our own personal dream world, we enter the Vijnanamaya kosha, which is the wisdom body. Here, our little individual stories and dramas kind of melt away into these bigger, universal patterns. You start to see life not as just a series of random things happening to you, but as this beautiful, interconnected design. This is really where true wisdom and compassion are born. And finally, we reach the innermost layer before that final core, the Anandamaya kosha, the bliss body. At this point, there are no more images, no more stories. It's just a state of pure geometry, patterns of light, and this feeling of deep, profound peace and joy. This is the very essence of who we are. Okay, so we've got our map of consciousness. That's great. But how do we actually start the car? How do we begin the journey and unlock these inner worlds? Well, the answer lies in 2 really simple fundamental keys, the body and the breath.
The whole process kicks off with 2 very practical steps. First, you just systematically relax your body. You consciously let go of tension, muscle by muscle, all the way from your toes to your head. The source material really emphasizes focusing on key energy centers, like the perineum and the solar plexus, to get an even deeper release. Then, step 2. Your breath becomes incredibly subtle. So shallow and so quiet, it's almost like you're not breathing at all. This is the trigger. This is what calms the nervous system and flips the switch, turning our awareness inward.
All right, with the body asleep and the breath totally subtle, we're now ready to cross that bridge. We're moving from the physical world into the inner world, traveling from our own personal dreamscapes all the way to these universal truths. And now we really feel that Pranamaya kosha we talked about. This image really captures that feeling. It's like being in this fluid, energetic ocean where there's no past, no future, only the present moment. All the anxiety about yesterday and tomorrow, it just ceases to exist. There's only the deep, profound peace of right now.
Now, as we go deeper into the mind, there is one golden rule, and it's so important. Observe, but do not engage. Whether beautiful images pop up or maybe difficult memories, your only job is to be a detached witness. Just watch it all flow by. Watching this stream of consciousness without getting hooked and swept away by it, that is the practice. That's freedom.
The final destination of this inward journey is Mahakaal, and the experience is described as being like a beautiful sunset that's followed by this deep, velvety darkness. But here's the key. This is not an empty void. It's the creative womb of all existence. It's the silent background from which everything comes into being and to which everything returns. And here, the individual I just dissolves into pure, unified existence.
But the journey doesn't end in the void. We come back. And the true purpose of Yoga Nidra isn't just about having this amazing cosmic experience. It's about taking the wisdom we gain from that journey and integrating it into how we live our everyday lives.
One of the most practical things that comes out of this is getting a real answer to that big question, who am I? This practice helps us see the difference between our true self, our essence, and what the Source calls the false personality. You know, the mask we all wear every day, made up of our ego, social conditioning, and what we think others expect from us.
And this brings us to a really revolutionary idea about karma. The entire science of karma, it turns out, is contained in one single concept, the pause. It's called virama. Think about it. Between some external event happening and our usual habitual reaction, there's a little space. By consciously creating a pause in that space, we can break the chain of just reacting automatically. We can actually stop creating new karma.
The source material also points out that things like resentment and old grievances are like these heavy knots just weighing down our consciousness, and forgiveness is the key to dissolving them. There's a beautiful, simple practice suggested here. As you breathe in, you mentally ask for forgiveness for your own mistakes, and as you breathe out, you mentally grant forgiveness to those who have hurt you. It's such a powerful way to unburden the heart.
So after all these profound inner experiences, how do we know if it's working? How do we measure our progress? Well, the source material offers one beautifully simple benchmark. The true measure of this practice is just this. Has softness, has that quality of gentleness increased in your life? It's not about having cool visions. It's about how you show up in the world.
So what does this softness actually mean? Well, it's the supreme practice. It means learning how to speak hard truths, but with gentleness. It means consciously checking in with your body throughout the day and releasing that tension you hold in your shoulders or your jaw. And in your relationships, it means choosing the gentle, flexible nature of your soul over the rigid, demanding nature of the ego.
And that's really where we'll leave it. The inner journey is incredible, for sure, but the real practice of Yoga Nidra doesn't actually happen with your eyes closed. It begins the moment you open them and get back to your life. So the ultimate question to take away from all of this isn't about what you saw or felt in the practice, but this: has softness in your life increased?